Happy Sabbath day. Yeah, the real one.
Through all my ups and downs, I just want you to let it rain on me. Yeah, so there you are. Say let it rain. Come on, just let it rain. Me, come on. Listen, I need your love, Abba. I feel your pain too. Without your love and mercy, I would be nothing without you. I changed my life and I changed my style. I don't wanna stress no more, so Father, can you show me how to love like you do? Be cursed, no voodoo. I'm tired of doing it on my own. I need your love to rain through. I try my best to live your word. I wanna prove my love. I wanna see your kingdom above everything I love. I don't understand it. These pastors be business about money and single-handed spreading lies to the congregation and cause a future panic. Instead of salvation, they leading souls into shift their nation. I'm just thankful for the Father, yeah, because I know you saved me. Father, I know we all fall short of your glory, and although we might sin, I just pray that you forgive us and give us redemption, and the remission from our sins. Father, let it rain on us. Yes, let your love rain on us. Father, higher, it's the Shire. Say let it rain. Say let it rain. Come on, let's go. It's a blessing, I learned my lesson and got selected. He chose me from the beginning and now I got the message. I used to feel close to nothing and now I know I'm something. No matter what they do to me, I know Yeshaya coming to save his people. We Israel rise up on a mission and baptize so Jacob can rise up. We wanna feel the rain, I don't wanna feel the pain. I don't wanna sin no more, I don't want my work in vain. I gotta stay and fight, I'm Superman, I'm kryptonite. We gon' be alright, we gotta change and be that light. I wanna see that door, I wanna hear great job, I wanna see your glory. I don't wanna hear goodbye, let it rain. Yes, Father, can you please let it rain? I thank you for letting me breathe. Come on, say let it rain. Yes, kind. It feels so great to be alive. Yes, thank you. Come on, say let it rain on me. Let it rain on me. Let it rain, say let it rain.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. Happy, first of all, turn this light on so you know when I show my face. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. No take back. Like we used to do as children, no take back. First of all, happy Sabbath, the real ones. I want to talk about what is it? 2 Timothy 2:5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where it says, having a form of godliness but denieth the power. Having a form of godliness but denieth the power. Let's talk about that, man. Look, there's a lot of first of all, there's a lot of seducing spirits teaching devil doctrines. Look like it's of the light, because even Satan transforms into an angel of light. And when we attacking these certain spirits, realize that it ain't even about the person. So if you think that when we attacking certain people, get that out your mind. We talking about the spirit. We talking about the Antichrist spirit that's in this world hard and heavy, seducing, man. And what's the best way to lure people in? Having a form of godliness, but denying his power, God's power, his ways. Because he don't have the attributes of God. He's not God. He wants to be God. Now look what we're dealing with today, man. You know, even in the congregations, God has allowed 2019 to happen for a reason. Well, he let these buildings that we call churches shut down for a reason. Now think about this. The governments have the power to shut down God's church. Man, system has the power to shut down God's church. And nobody's questioning that. Everybody's more scared of COVID than the covenant. Catch that vibration. That was more teaching about COVID than the covenant. 2019, man. I try to tell you the similarities of when the children was escaping bondage in Egypt. Let's think about Egypt. Egypt is not a state. It's a state of mind. Bondage. Everything in the Bible is a catalyst, man. It's things that happen, things that's happening, and things to happen. That's why it's a living word, man. It's steady renewing. It's steady, it's breathing. This thing is real, man. You know, it's more than just, like I said, it's more than poetry. It's a reality. Okay. Now, with everything that's going on today, why are we talking more about COVID more than the covenant, which is a covering, just like the covering that they needed to get over the death angel that was passing through the land, man? Now, we speak it, we know that story, but do we believe it? He said he's the same God. He'll never change. So do we serve that God? Do we serve that God? He allowed all these buildings to shut down. Man had the power to shut these buildings down because he need for us to evaluate ourselves, man. What are we teaching? What are we teaching? Because God is about his covenant. He's about his covenant. See, we go hard, man. We go hard for all these holidays. Yes, I speak on holidays. Why? Because we go hard for them. I mean, we decorate our houses. I mean, we put the clothing on. People outside and below weather, putting lights on and all that type of stuff. I'm talking about all of them. Christmas too. We go hard for those. We don't go hard for those feast days though. We don't talk about those though. The things he said to keep. Why he say keep them? It's not just to celebrate it like it's a holiday. It's to remember his power. Something he done particularly to remember him. Because he always say remember him. Do not remove the ancient boundaries and the landmarks. This is for generations and generations and generations. See, God has put a blood covenant in effect. And we have to be in agreement to it for it to be activated. Catch that vibration. See, blood is a window from for the spiritual realm to have access to this realm. That's why it says whatever's loose in heaven should be loose on earth. Whatever's loose on earth should be loose in heaven. Okay, but how we do that? They have to have access. And that's through the blood. That's why there's no remission of sin without blood shed. Did you catch that? Because life is in the blood, baby. Now check us out. Okay, now when blood is shed, for us to activate the power, we got to be in agreement. It got to be something that we do physically in this physical realm where we give that blood power. But which one do we want to come into this realm to have power? Do you want the divine or do you want the demonic? Because the spiritual realm operates in legalities, man. No other way. So it's all about what do we want. We got the power to choose which side we want coming into this realm. So we got to watch what we do. That's why it says my people perish for the lack of knowledge, man. That's why we got to get into this word, man. Not just sit down and listen to some man speak to you about some things that ain't even in the Bible. You got to be able to question those things, man. They call him down Thomas. No, that's what cemetery school call him. Don't even make sense. God picked Thomas out because he knew he was going to ask the right questions. That's why he chose him. He was not a hindrance in his plan. No, he knew he was going to ask questions that the other disciples wasn't going to ask. So now we got the book with those answers in there, and we can go back. Why? Because Thomas did that. Now, peep game. Now, then having a form of godliness, but denying the power. Right now, God is cleaning the house, man. And he's trying to reveal things to us. You know, we the house of Israel. But we're not in there just because of whatever we came out of. We in there because we in the covenant, man. All nationalities, that don't even matter. The point is, let's get back to our covenant. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? All this once saved, always saved, that is nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere. I promise you're not going to find that. I'll put money on it if you find that. But I tell you what's in the word. He that endureth to the end, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. That's contradicting that, ain't it? That means you got to fight all your life, man. It ain't just dumping in the water saying I'm baptized and I grab the preacher's hand and I'm good now, y'all. I'm go back to my old lifestyle. No, it's a continuous process, man. No, we're not going to be perfect, but don't use it as an excuse. We got to be always in the process of perfection. That's why we got to stay on that potter's wheel, man. Letting him shape us, mold us. When we get off, when we slide, hey, get your slide back on. You know? But my point is this, man. Time up for looking the part. It's time to be set apart. You catch that vibration? I remember an old movie called White Man Can't Jump. And what's his name? Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes was playing ball together as partners. And they had won a game. And it went down to the last shot. And Woody Harrelson just he laid it up. And him and Wesley Snipes was arguing. He was like, man, you should have made it pretty, man. You should have just ducked that thing. And Woody was like, man, it was just 2 points. I just laid it up. So, you know, it made Wesley Snipes mad. You know, he got mad at him. He started, you know, talking bad about him, this and that. But Woody Harrelson said something very powerful that relates to this word. And I can't even be mad at him. He said, yeah, I know about your kind, though. He said, you rather look good and lose. You rather look good and lose. The point is, man, it's time up for that looking good but losing. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power. Man, let's get that covering back, man. You ain't got to fear what's going on in the land. It's crazy. I'm going to give you something real quick. It's crazy, man. I put my job on the line. I ain't even discuss how much I get paid because it's not even about that. And we at a certain date where we had to have a vaccine. And I said, I'm not doing it. That's what I stand on. It's not against anybody that wants it if you think you need it. I done the research. I know I don't need it. And nobody does. But that's another story. That's another topic. I'm done the research, man. But I was willing to put my job on the line, man. Everybody else was scared. We're going to lose our jobs. And I was like, man, I'm going to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. So my point is, man, God came through. God came through. It wasn't time to run and jump just because I heard something. No. Only be moved by the word and what he tell us to do. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Get that covenant and you covered. You ain't got to worry about it. Is that word, is it poetry or is it a reality? Does it have a form of godliness but denied the power? Or is it a form of godliness and it has godly power? Abba Yahweh, Yeshua HaMashiach, in our slave tongue, Jesus Christ. I love you. I thank you. And to all you, get the glory. I'm out, y'all.